Well, these days things are getting pretty dangerous over in Libya. Omar Gaddafi, the dictator of the country, has refused to step down, um, and the rebels in the country who are tired of his dictatorship have refused to back down. Despite the fact that he is coming after them now with violence. Loyalists to him are attacking rebels. They're um, creating an international conflict by blowing up their oil pipelines. So it's really become not a good situation over there. Now, one thing that has come about recently is what the U.S. needs to do in this situation. And basically, we're left with three options. I think we can do nothing. We can take certain measures to simply aid the rebels, or we can fight the war for them. Now, there, nobody, I don't know. It's tough to understand what the implications would be of this, of any of these options. If we do nothing, the violence will increase, more rebels will be killed, and Gaddafi will remain in power until we do something. Basically, if we just give aid to them, in the form of maybe weapons to defend themselves or weapons to overthrow the government, it could result in a bloodbath in the country, and thousands more will be killed. If we send our own men in there, odds are we will lose some men to loyalists who kill them in the country. We should overthrow the government and get Gaddafi out of there. But also with the growing unrest in the Middle East, why shouldn't we go into Saudi Arabia and Iran, where similar things are happening, or will be happening eventually? So it's a very tough decision to make, and also very tough for a president who is very critical of President Bush's strategy to go in Iraq rather, and eliminate a ruthless dictator in Saddam Hussein, who was far worse than Muammar Gaddafi. So it'll be interesting to see. I think one thing that they can do is that they can look at Ronald Reagan, what he did. Reagan, two things come to mind: the Afghan war against the Soviets and the Contra war against the Sandinistas in Nicaragua. First, with the Afghan war, Reagan wanted to avoid all armed conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union, so he decided to fund the Afghan people who were, under takeover by the Soviets with, things such as surface-to-air missiles to take down Soviet helicopters that were wreaking havoc on the nation. Despite what you may think of the Iran-Contra affair, or everything that went on there, the fact is, in Nicaragua, the Sandinistas had overthrown a government in 1979 and had taken over as a communist regime. Reagan, obviously, with the vision to end communism, thought that couldn't stand, so he sent arms down to the Contras. Eventually, after a number of years, Contras regained power, eventually through nationwide elections in 1990. So it's very important to look at those, but I think what the U.S. has to do is I think they should be sending aid to Libya right now. Implement a no-fly zone. Push for that. They should, so rebels won't be attacked from the air. They should push for, sending, supplies to help them defend themselves, to stave off attacks, and then to remove Gaddafi from power. This is their fight right now, I think, and I think we should be able to let them handle it, but we should also stand up for democracy and help them in the ways they need. It's tough now to argue for another Middle Eastern conflict for this country, so I don't believe it's absolutely necessary for the U.S. to enter with troops and try and take down Gaddafi himself. So, with that said, I urge President Obama to continue the aid, or to start up even more aid to the Libyan rebels, not to fight the war itself, but to implement the no-fly zone and help these people out in basically any way we can without entering into another military conflict. And for more, you can visit my blog at Kevin Hannigan, KevinHannigan.com. Thanks for watching.